Good morning. I'm Lynette Adams, and this is Rochester in Focus. So how do you choose your chocolate? Maybe you prefer dark, or you only like milk chocolate. Well, we paid a visit to Laughing Gull Chocolates, a small chocolatier on East Main Street in Rochester, run by three moms. What an education. We had no idea about socially conscious chocolate and their desire to change the world with chocolate. Well, Emmanuel Baptist Church has been putting on concerts and musical shows for 25 years. This weekend, it's back with another Concerts on Park. It's their latest installment and a celebration of female musicians this Women's History Month. And lastly, an interview from our archives. Here's a hint. Our guest tells us about Kiva, a city program that helps small business owners. If you have driven by 1868 East Main Street without stopping in, you may be passing up an experience of a lifetime. We're inside Laughing Gull's Chocolate on East Main Street in Rochester, and joining me this morning are the co-owners, Lindsay Tarnoff, as well as Carla Carey. They, along with Allison Zukowski, own Laughing Gull Chocolate. I love the name, first of all. You told me that it's named after your grandmother, but tell us a little bit about Laughing Gull Chocolates.
So we make all different kinds of chocolate confections using ethically, transparently sourced ingredients and all ingredients of the highest quality and as much local as possible.
So you're a little bit different probably than other chocolatiers. Give us a little bit of history. How did you guys come together to produce ethically sound chocolate?
Go ahead. So the idea really started when I was in college and coming up with a capstone paper, writing it on the history of the morality of chocolate. So that idea kind of brewed in my mind for a couple of years. I started it when I was in Rhode Island. As you mentioned, the name came as a tribute to my grandmother. So I got the business up and running using ethically sourced chocolate. While I was there in Rhode Island, I knew I wanted to change the world with chocolate, but I wasn't exactly sure how. So I played with some things while I was there in Rhode Island. I started making truffles and then moved to Rochester about 2 years after that. I was in the public market for about a year, had a baby, and decided to open up a brick and mortar right around the same time. Turns out both of those things are amazing and beautiful, also very hard. And that's when Carla and I met.
Slightly easier when there's more than one of you, for sure. Yeah, Lindsay and I met in a mom's group, and we took a walk one day. It did the traditional, what do you do? What do you do? And I was like, well, nothing, but it'd be good to do something. I really want to bring my child with me, though. And she was like, I actually might have something for you. I'm making ethically sourced chocolate, and we're going to have local ingredients and do experiences and coffee. And she had me at chocolate and coffee. So then we just kind of built the store up together, and Allison, our third business partner, started visiting us daily and became a very integral part of our friend group. And then later on, all three of us kind of became business partners. So
tell us what we will find. For people who have not been inside, what will they find when they come inside?
Yeah, we have a variety of different chocolate products. So kind of in front of us, we have our hot chocolate mixes, a lot of different types of bark. So if there's something that you like in your chocolate, we probably make a bark with it. Like our layered bars are very popular, lots of truffles. So you can choose from a myriad of truffles and put together a custom box. And then we also do make really, really good hot chocolates to go. So you can come in and grab a hot chocolate and warm up, grab some chocolate to bring home with you. And ours are kind of the best.
So you talked about making chocolate. So this that I'm seeing here was all made right here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Correct. Yep. So we do a tiny bit of chocolate making from the bean here. And so we have our own, small chocolate bars. But most of what we do is chocolatiering. So we take chocolate, raw chocolate, and we make, like Carla said, chocolate bark, and other chocolate confections. Our salted caramel chocolate sauce is delicious. And then a huge part of our passion lies in teaching people about chocolate as well. So our classes are really fun, and a big part of what we do.
So people can come in and check you out. Talk about your event coming up.
We have a number of different events. Like I said, we do a lot of classes. Our next chocolate tasting is on March 8th, which happens to be International Women's Day. And so we will be doing a formal chocolate tasting using our tasting wheel here. And everybody will get to taste 8 different varieties of chocolate, some of which are made by other craft chocolate makers, some of which we make. And we'll be talking about the women behind the chocolate, because there's so much there.
Sounds like fun. How can people join you?
It's right on our website. There's a link to purchase tickets to that event, which is laughinggoldchocolates.com.
Right here in the store.
Right here in the store.
All right. Thank you so much for being here. This is so interesting.
Thank you for having us.
My pleasure. And we'll be right back. So when we purchase chocolate, we're probably thinking about taste. But my 2 guests today think about much more than the taste of chocolate. Joining me now, Lindsay Tarnoff, as well as Carla Carey, 2 of the 3 owners of Laughing Gold Chocolates on East Main Street in Rochester. And you talk a lot about ethically sourced chocolate. What is that all about?
So there's a lot that goes into that. When we think about ethically sourced chocolate, there are kind of 2 main factors that we think about. One is people, and the other is the environment. It's really important. Like when we think about hiring individuals to work here in our shop, of course, we're going to pay them at the very least minimum wage. We pay everybody here a living wage. And that's really important here, but it's also important to the farmers who are working really hard to grow and harvest our chocolate. And so that's not the case everywhere. That's not the case with all chocolate. A lot of times, unfortunately, what happens is that people are exploited. Sometimes you even have children working without education, without healthcare. You might have people who might be trafficked onto farms. That doesn't happen everywhere, but it does happen. And so we are very, very cognizant about who is harvesting and planting and growing our chocolate.
So when we're purchasing chocolate, it's about so much more than just the taste.
Yeah. And you might see, you've seen like fair trade, probably stickers. And fair trade is, a certification that a farm can sign up to get. We work with primarily direct trade. So what that kind of means is the chocolate makers that we're working with are actually involved in a direct relationship with the farmers and where they're being grown. So that not only gives them a much more direct line of communication, but it also gives us a much more direct access to ensure that that relationship is beneficial to the farmers and the community. So that's pretty much our passion. There's no certification for that direct trade label, but that's really what we look for, is that transparency all the way down the line.
Why go to such lengths to make chocolate?
I think there are a lot of reasons. Number one is just our values, right? Like I'll speak for myself. I wouldn't feel good about eating chocolate that I knew was harvested or grown by somebody who couldn't leave and wasn't getting paid. So that's one thing, which is pretty simple to explain. The other thing is, if we look from a bigger lens, our chocolate's not going to be around forever. Climate change is really impacting chocolate. The farmers, there's actually a pretty significant generational gap where lots of farmers are getting older and there aren't young people to grow cacao. So, and then there are so many more factors that impact cacao as well. But cacao, as the world stands right now, might not be around forever. And so we want to ensure that cacao and then the farmers who grow our cacao can sustain themselves. And so if a farmer really cares about their their cacao, right? Like what they're producing, then the quality is going to be better. If the environment is well taken care of and you can have biodiversity, like other crops, other plants in that area, again, the quality of the cacao is going to be better also. And so that's why, it's one of the many reasons, again, that we care about how the chocolate is sourced and how the people are taken care of, because it also makes our chocolate taste better.
So if I buy chocolate here, that's one less thing that I may feel guilty about. I may feel guilty about eating too much chocolate, but I won't feel guilty about how it's made.
I think we all can only do so much in our lives, but this is kind of what we contribute is we give you an easy way to feel really good about what you're eating. It's going to taste good. It's going to feel good all the way down. So
Thank you so much. This has been a great education, and I'm dying to try some of the chocolate. And people can come in and learn how to make their own chocolate, right?
yeah.
Okay. Yep, we do chocolate tastings, we do chocolate making classes. So there are lots of experiences that people can have right here at the shop.
All right. Well, thank you for inviting us in.
Thank you
Thanks for
having us.
coming.
My pleasure. And we'll be right back. For 25 years, Emmanuel Baptist Church has been sponsoring music at the church. In fact, its series is called Concerts on Park. And next week, a specific concert also recognizes women in music and celebrates National Women's History Month. And joining me to talk about it is Michael Marshall, who is the host of this event, as well as the lovely Debbie Kendrick, who is with the Debbie Kendrick Project and will be performing, as well as Cindy Tagg, who will be performing with Sheen Quay. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you.
So this is exciting, this event coming up. Lots of good music from what we've been talking about. Michael, give us a sense of what this night is going to be like.
Well, thank you, Lynette. I'm so happy to be here. So this evening at Emmanuel Baptist, we're going to be featuring women artists and performers who are very much accomplished in the field of music. We'll also be having, in addition to these lovely women, Sister Blue out of Geneva. Sister Blue is a trio of sisters that do soulful gospel. So we'll have an array of music from jazz to R&B to gospel to just really soulful root music. And we're using this as an opportunity to highlight the 25 years of music at Emmanuel Baptist, which was originally Friday Jazz at Emmanuel and now known as Concerts on Park. And we'll also be celebrating our 100th year as of March 4th. That will be year one of the second 100 years. So we're launching the initiative to kind of re-engage the community in the life of the church and the community, the church being involved in the community.
You've got a lot going on. Why celebrate women?
Well, because women are such a vital part in our culture and society. They produce and create, and they just add so much life and beauty to the world. And so happens to be the Women's History Month, and this concert is on International Women's Day. So we did originally 2 years ago Lauren Fagiano and the Good Souls. So we thought, why not bring that back and use this opportunity to again expose women and highlight.
It's going to be an exciting night. Debbie, give us a sense of what the Debbie Kendrick Project is all about.
Well, we're a six-piece band, and we play a mixture. We do a little bit of everything. We do gospel, we do blues, we do R&B, we do folk music. Every now and then, if the mood hits me, I'll throw in a little country, So we enjoy having a little something for everybody.
It's going to be a fun night. I know that you will be performing with Sheen Quay. Tell us about Sheen Quay and what we'll hear from you.
We're a relatively new jazz quintet. The rhythm section comes from the Stewie Evans Trio. We have Bruce Blaine on bass and Jim Blease on drums. But the horn section comes from Lauren Fagiano's band, Joe Cap on flugelhorn and trumpet and vocals, and myself playing flute, clarinet, and saxophone.
How do you ladies feel about the fact that this is also in celebration? It's part of the concert series, but also celebrating women artists and women musicians.
It's a great honor. It really is to showcase the abilities and the talents of women here in Rochester, because we've got a lot of gifted women, a lot of in all areas. Okay, not music of course, but not just music, but in various areas. So to be part of this is really an honor.
Absolutely. So give us the particulars. If people want to come, how can they get tickets? What time, where, all the good stuff.
Okay, so the show is March 8th at 7 p.m. to 10 p.m., 815 Park Avenue, corner of Park and Brunswick. There will be parking in our parking lot, off-street parking, because we'll get a parking variance, so you'll be safe parking there. And the tickets are going to be available at the door. We do it by donation. It'll be a $15 donation, a $10 student donation, and we will have a QR code posted on our Instagram and our Facebook page, so you can subscribe or order your tickets through that as well.
All right, it's going to be a great night. Thank you all for being here.
Thank you so much for having us.
We'll be right back. If you're a small business owner and you don't know about Kiva, you may be missing out on a great opportunity, and that's what we're talking about today. Maisha Beard is the Kiva Capital Access Manager for the City of Rochester, and Keisha Holloman is a small business owner who took advantage of Kiva. Welcome, ladies.
Thank you so much, Lynette, for having us.
What exactly is Kiva?
Kiva is a game changer for small businesses. So it is a no fee, no interest, crowd-funded loan where small businesses can borrow anywhere from $1,000 to $15,000, and credit is not the primary concern.
Now, you say that. So what is the primary concern? How do I get a Kiva loan?
Here's how you get a Kiva loan. You apply. You make sure that you upload a DBA, an LLC, or whatever proves that you're in business. Your business banking and your personal banking have to be separate. You need to write a Kiva loan story. Why do you need the loan? What are you going to do with it? Kiva wants to know about your business. Tell us about your business story. Why did you start? What are your goals? What do you plan to do? Where do you see yourself in a few years? But here is the caveat. Kiva wants to know what your social credit is like. If we lend you $10,000, do you have 25 of your own people in your own network, community, family that trust you to lend you $25 and trust that you will pay it back? If we can see you do that in your private crowdfunding, then when you go live on the Kiva platform, people are going to say, I like Keisha Holloman. This is what I want to invest my $25 in.
Keisha, tell us your story. What made you decide to try Kiva?
Oh, well, it was a no-brainer. From seeing Kiva advertised by Maisha and other people that utilize Kiva, I reached out to Maisha, asked her, did she think that I was ready for Kiva? She took a look at my profile, she took a look at my business and my website, and she said, yes, move forward.
So tell us how Kiva has benefited you.
What took me to Kiva really was to help with inventory, help with separating my personal finances and having a pot of finances of money that I can pull from to help my business grow.
So it's a hair business. So tell us how things are going.
Things are going great. I honor my sister, my late sister, Deanna Dee. She's here in spirit. She is what heavily influences me and impacts me to move on with the business. So I'm currently located at Women of Color International, where we do business together. That's where Hair by Her lives. I flourished with marketing. I was able to use some of those funds to get the extra things that I needed for the business. I have inventory on hand. That's very important with the hair extension business because we want to touch and feel and know the quality.
And it sounds like that's what Kiva is for, small businesses that need a little extra help.
It's for any small business, whether they are starting, growing, expanding, rebranding, that are in the city of Rochester or in surrounding areas. But what they get that is so special is that we get to be advocates. The city of Rochester gets to advocate for the participant. Like I'm sitting in front of you, Lynette, so I have a relationship with you. So the underwriters at Kiva, they only see you by name and information. So if they ask me a question, for instance, sometimes they'll say, do you have something past 90 days, debt past 90 days? And if a person says no, and it's not on their credit, Kiva will find it, they will automatically deny you because it's about character. This is a character loan. So I get to say, I work with this entrepreneur. They did not know that they had this, and this is not on their credit report. So this was an honest mistake. Can we keep moving them forward?
Quickly tell us, how can people get in touch with Kiva? How can they find out more? How can they apply for a loan?
Oh, cityofrochester.gov/OFE.
All right. Ladies, thank you so much. It's a great program, and it sounds like a win-win for everyone.
Thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Lynette. Thank you for
My
having
pleasure.
us.
We'll be right back. A big thank you to all of our guests today. If you would like to join us as a guest on Rochester in Focus, we'd love to hear from you. You can contact News 10 NBC at 232-1010 or email us at rif@whec.com. And that's all the time we have today. Thank you for joining us. Until next Sunday morning, have a great week.